You know when you do that perfect shoot and then the client posts the complete opposite photos that you thought they would post or don't post any? And you're wondering, what the hell, this was a great shoot. Why would you post that? Or why wouldn't you post any? Here's the thing. Clients need to be able to tell you exactly what they think of your images. And sometimes they're embarrassed to do that. Sometimes they're not comfortable enough to do that. Sometimes they don't want to discuss it because it's a flaw that they think they have that they don't want in a photo. And unless you have that conversation with them while you're shooting them, there's going to be a problem. And here's the big thing. If I'm doing a headshot and the client doesn't like them and we didn't have the discussion why they didn't like them, or they don't tell me why they didn't like them, the next time they need a headshot 6 months down the road or a year down the road, they're not calling you. They're not going to remember that even if it was something on them, it wasn't your photography. The lighting was perfect. The photos were perfect, but they didn't like this angle or this wrinkle or this eyelash or this hair. They don't remember that. All they remember is, I went to him. I really didn't use his photos. I really didn't like his photos. They're not discussing in their head why. They say, I'm going to go to somebody else because I really didn't like his. So we got to find out what they like and what they don't like. Now, this shoot with Gia, the first shoot we did with the LED lights, the GVM LEDs, the photos were fantastic. I loved the way they worked. I'm shocked that I loved them that much because they did work well. But this one light that was here, she thought, well, her eye was a little tiny bit squintier more than normal because of this bright LED. I saw a tiny squint, but she does have a medical condition in that eye that makes her squint no matter what. So I said, that's not a problem. We'll reshoot with strobe because that's what she's used to. That's what we've been using for so many years. And it was a good opportunity to try both and see what the differences were and what she would finally end up on. And I really want you to look at the photos and see if you can pick which photo she picked for for her headshot at the end after you look at all these photos. It may or may not surprise you. I don't know. Anyway, getting back to the client, you need to have the discussion. You need to say, let me know exactly what you don't like when I show you these, even if it's on the back of the camera. Most of them have good eyesight. They can see it. Me, I don't. I would never see it anyway. And if I do tether, I don't like to tether that much because then they're constantly looking at the screen versus looking at the camera. But if you do tether, it makes it a little bit easier. Just turn it around so they can see it only when you're wanting them to show it to them. Just a little tip there. Anyway, so have the conversation and get that trust right from the start to say, listen, if it's a wrinkle on the neck, some don't want to tell you, like, look, I look wrinkly. If it's a double chin, a lot of them don't want to tell you. They have to have enough trust and honesty with you to be able to tell you this stuff. If they don't, you're going to be either reshooting or never see them again. So with Chia, we did the LEDs and then we did the strobe. Now, here's the thing. I approached her in the morning saying, hey, let's reshoot at 10:30, 10:45, whenever you can get in here. And we'll, get these images done, a second set. And then we can look at both sets and see which ones we like better. And she said to me as I was walking away, it could have been my eyeshadow or eyeliner, because I think it was a little dark. Okay. Not a problem. If it was something she did, it still doesn't matter. I still want to reshoot it and get great images for her. So let's get into these shoots a little bit. I'll show you a little bit of the first one with the LEDs because they did come out pretty nice, and the one with the strobes the very next day. 2 quick shoots. I only provide 4 to 6 proofs when I shoot like this. She had one outfit. We just need one headshot. I pick the best, that I see, and then she calls them down to the one that she wants. So let's take a look and see what the situation was and see if you can pick which one she finally went with. It's kind of fun. But remember, talk to your clients. They shoot 150 to 1,000 selfies a day to get that perfect photo. They know exactly what they like, what angle they like, and what problems they think they have that you need to know. Just think if you knew exactly what they wanted by asking versus I'm a photographer, I know what you look good. You don't. You've got to trust the fact that You need to talk to them and tell them, have them tell you what looks good on them, because they do this all the time. Back in the day when, I was a photographer with a film, 40 plus years ago, up until 20 years ago, I didn't have this opportunity to do 1,000 selfies and pick just one. And we don't have that opportunity either. So, while some people do, they shoot 1,000 photos for one headshot. But anyway, let's get to the shoot. I'm going to shut up. Just ask your client, get some trust, get some honesty going, and let them tell you what they like and don't like. It'll help you in the end. So this is a clip from the first shoot. Now, I have this full video on YouTube, so if you want to go back and look at it, you can. But I show her the first shot that I take, and I want to see where her hand goes. Her hand immediately goes to the sides of her mouth because she's worried about her laugh lines. Her hair, because she wants her hair perfect. And I have to watch this and see what she does. 99% of the time, they're going to move their hand exactly where their problem points are and tell you what's wrong with the image. You have to pay attention to this. That's that back little GVM LED, that new one. They call it the Pocket Light 60B. Love that thing. At first I was like, oh, this is too weak, but it was perfect power for rim light, hair light, and it's small enough to move around easily. So this is just a quick clip, and I wanted to show you the 4 images. We did a total of 19 images. She culled it down to 6 or 5, and then we did our final 4. And these are the final 4. These are lightly retouched on her face, but nothing else. The shirt's not done. Anything else isn't done. It's just lightly retouched on the face. So these are the 4 proofs that she saw for that shoot. Now, this is the ones that she said, oh, my eyes look squinty. Let's reshoot with strobe. So this is our second day. This is literally the day after. The first thing I noticed is she wore a higher collar shirt. She did change her shirt. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe she has problems with her necklines. The makeup was slightly different. It was a little less on the eyeliner, in an effort to widen that eye. But I'm still going to show her the original photos during the shoot. I want to go through them and say, hey, when we originally did these, like, what poses were your favorite? What angles were your favorite? Because originally it was, okay, when she's cameras, look at my camera left, she liked those. When I turned her on this side, the way I'm shooting her now, she didn't really like those. But she paused at that opposite angle that she thought she didn't like. So I'm reshooting that again, just in case. Now, this time I gave her 6 images just to make sure that we have something that she's going to like in this second set. If it was just 1 or 2 things that I didn't pay attention to, like her laugh lines, her necklines, and her hair, then it would be on me. But here we go. This is the image she finally went with. This is from the first shoot. Now, the things I have to pay attention to are her eyes. I'm not going to over fix these. She has to look her age. But I definitely want to fix the neck because, she wore a turtleneck. This shirt, that's an issue. I had to fix that bump. And obviously her hair, because her hand went up to her hair, it's important to her. So here is the final image. This is it completely retouched. And this is the one she absolutely positively loved.